Hello, welcome to another video, and we're out today with the Nanda Racing NB-5 buggy. And if you take a look, what I've done is I've taken off the body shell. This video is purely just how to set up the buggy for the first start, the things we need to do and the tools you're going to need. So aside from the ready to run buggy, obviously a few things you're going to need. You're going to need some Nitro fuel. This is SH21 engine, I'm using some Opti fuel, 25%. You're also going to need a glow igniter. This type isn't compulsory. You can of course just use normal rechargeable igniter. This one actually connects up to a LiPo battery. I find these much easier. And then optionally you could use a hump pack rather than using 4 AA batteries inside the receiver. Typically speaking, not only are these rechargeable, they also seem to hold the charge for longer, so therefore it reduces the risk of having a runaway, stuff like that. So once you have removed the buggy from the box, check out the out-of-box review video on the channel, that is uploaded. First things you're going to want to do is oil your air filter. So I've already removed this one and I've oiled the outside of the inner air filter and the inside of the outer air filter. That sounds really confusing, but if you check out my channel you'll find some tutorials on there. So first thing you're going to want to do is install AA batteries into the transmitter. I've just done this. I'm using Duracell batteries. This one actually takes 4 AA batteries, and if you turn it on, just check on the top that you've got these lights here. This is your power light, and then this is your status light. If this is red, then this means your batteries are going to need replacing. So as you can see, it's green, that means we've got a lot of power. If you remove the 3 pins and then open up the receiver box, you'll find this. This is where you would install the AA batteries. I'm going to remove that one, and if it will fit, I'm going to install HPI Racing hump pack. And aside from that, this is the only modification I'm going to be doing to this car. Okay, so once we've installed the AA batteries, if you're going to use AA batteries, this little tip, just take some insulation tape and just wrap it around the battery case. This will just stop any of the batteries coming loose from the engine vibration. It doesn't usually happen now because this casing is quite tight, so you probably won't have that issue. Just in case, just wrap some tape around there and that will stop that from happening. One other tool, and I forgot to mention it before, is a glow plug wrench. You might just need one of those if you need to unplug the engine or anything like that. Okay, so turn on your radio switch located just here, and then just check the movement, check that you've got throttle servo movement here, and check that the steering is working. Okay, so now we've installed the batteries into here, the batteries into here. What we're ready to do now is fill up the fuel tank. This is a 125cc fuel tank. I'm going to fill it up. I'm not going to fill it all the way. I'm going to leave about 1 centimetre at the top, just for the air. What you'll find is if you fill it up all the way, often it sort of pushes too much fuel through, some fuel that you're not really going to want. It might just cause you a few issues. So now the tank is filled up this full, I'm going to prime the engine. There's a few ways to prime the engine. The first one and the most common one is to block the tip of the exhaust pipe and pull the pull start. This is the way I'm going to go with, it's the way I've always done, so let's go with it. And what you're looking for when you're priming it is you're looking for the fuel to go from the fuel tank through this fuel line and into the carburetor. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to try to do it this way, so maybe you can try and see, getting close onto this bit here, we can see maybe the fuel going through. So you shouldn't need to pull it too many times, and you want to stop as soon as the fuel hits the carburetor. And it was just like that, literally. I think maybe after one pull, it went straight through there. So that's all we need. We don't want to do it any more than that. If we do it any more than that, it's going to flood the engine. So once it's in, I'm just going to pull the pull start a few more times. What that's going to do is just going to to lubricate a bit of fuel around the engine. You know, it's a new engine, so you want to get the fuel round there so it's going to lubricate it nice and easily. What you want to do now is just check that your throttle trim is set down nice and low and that the carb gap is about 1mm. If when you start your engine up, the buggy starts running away with itself and tries to move off and it's revving up, then you need to adjust your throttle trim just to bring down the idle speed a little bit. Once again, if you search my channel for all of that, all those details are in there. Okay, so now we're actually ready to start the engine. I'm using this kind of igniter. It's got on it a freshly charged LiPo battery. I'm going to insert the igniter and I'm going to pull the pull start. Remember, the first tank, there's no driving. I'm just going to let the engine sit for one full fuel tank. Here we go.